Good girl. It's the girls' first morning back together since I've got back with Bella, and they're pretty happy about it. They've just been running around and having a good play. And our wait begins now. Bella can have a scan at between 28 and 35 days, which will tell us, one, if she's pregnant, and two, how many puppies-ish should be expecting. They can always give you a rough count, although quite often some hide up in the rib cage. So it's just a bit of a waiting game now. There'll be signs that we can look for in early pregnancy, but they're not a guaranteed one, because as I've mentioned on the previous video, they can still have phantom pregnancies as well, which can still give you those same signs. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. So with Bella, obviously we found our stud. We'd made plans quite some time ago about which boy it was going to be. Before that was announced, I'd spent a long time debating between available males. Obviously the debate as to whether to still use Zeus or not, which obviously we decided against for the reasons again I've mentioned in previous videos. And so we went all the way to Lincoln, well, a little bit further than Lincoln actually, to go and see Julie and Jack, which for us is a 300-mile round trip, and we did that twice in the space of 3.5 days. So there's a lot of travelling, a lot of hours, a lot of miles, and a lot of planning beforehand, making sure I've got time off work and being able to just get up and go on the days that we needed to, because obviously she can't wait. When she's ready, and that's it. So it's really important to make sure that you're planning in advance. You know, you're not just going, oh no, my girl's in season, I better find a boy now, because you're never going to get the right matches. And this is what separates like an okay breeder from a really great breeder. They put the effort in. Not only are they doing all the work raising the puppies and doing the health tests on the parents, they are making sure that when they choose their pairings, they are putting the best possible pairings together so that the puppies that come out are better than the parents if they can be. It's all about improving. You know, the Lupine breed is a developing breed. We've got a long way to go yet before we're there, as it were. And part of what makes that happen is being really careful with your pairings, choosing the right partners, not just physically, which is important, but temperament-wise as well. You know, making sure if there's any, you know, a dog's carrying a disorder, for example. We don't breed any that are affected, but some carriers, you know, they're bred to clear dogs and things like that, to make sure that we're improving all the time. It may not be something superficial as looks, but it may be something structure-wise, or it may be, you know, as I say, like a health thing. And that's what really, really makes a difference. And all of the wolf breeders, well, the Lupine's Foundation breeders, all strive to do this as much as we can. But it comes at a big risk. You know, we could still come away with no puppies. You know, we've put all the hours in, all the work in, all the travelling, and you know, there is a chance that it might still not happen. It's just nature. A few years ago we went all the way to France with Toki and back, and ended up with no puppies. You know, it's a big and outgoing, a big financial outgoing, a big time outgoing. You need to be very flexible, and there's still going to be a lot more financial, you know, outgo to happen. You know, I'm going to have to buy a new whelping box. We've got to buy a load of new vet bed. The puppies eat so much. They get through about as much food in a week between them as one of the adults would in a month. So, you know, there's a lot of outlay there as well. And there's all sorts of other things. You know, you've got the microchips, the vaccinations, all the worming. All of that needs to be done as well. Hey, Millipot! So there's a really, really lot to think about and plan for when you're doing these kinds of things. Girlies! Not too far, thank you. Good girl, Tokes. So it's a big undertaking, and you do need to be organised and prepared for these kinds of things. It's not just a case of going, oh, two pretty dogs, throw them together. You get your ball, girlies. And see what happens. If you want to do it well, and you really should be wanting to do it well, then that's the most important thing. You've got to plan, you've got to be organised. And you've got to make sure that you are just not taking the easy route. Sometimes it's going to be hard, but it's worth it to do it right.